Right, next up we are looking for, once more we've been fantastically supported by the Veterans for Independence 2.0. Got to get that in. Get on their page and give them a like. Kenneth Mackay Reid. Round of applause, please.
That's my ball coming out now. It's coming.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kenny Reid. I was born in Dalwhinnie in Inverness-shire, now Strathspey. No one asked any questions about this last time round when invited to do so. So here goes with a short and hopefully understandable attempt at the reasons for change. This came about through a change brought in by a government to get money from the EU for farmers to grow certain crops in the UK and receive grants to do so. It was brought in to expand business, buying and selling throughout countries with freedom of movement. We then had very rich areas for the government to feast votes from, but now that is dwindling away with the supposed threat of wanting to leave the UK and its fruitfulness. Some think that the EU has served its purpose. I think not, and I know that you wholeheartedly agree with that. They wish to change the political map again, I have to say. The initial plan should stay in place, and we should stick with what we have. The only change will come when the population of Scotland want that. Good luck, Drew Hendry, and feel free to take this seat from Danny Alexander. I placed intimidation that I received by fellow comrades firmly to bed in my last talk, and you can find that on Veterans for Independence 2.0 on Facebook, and I can repeat it to anyone who wants to talk to me afterwards. As veterans, we witness shortages of kit, redundancies, loss of pensions, poor housing rights in civilian life, poor veterans care from all parties. That is why SNP have very able Veterans Minister in the MSP, Keith Brown. Again, the Royal Regiment of Scotland and the Territorial Army are to face further cutbacks. But never fear, older soldiers are going to be asked to fill the gap, allowing those upwards of the age of 50 plus to join the reservists. Kind of scandalous, I think. Workers should have rights, both human and working, and I believe some parties want to remove those. The Scottish National Party is doing better than any other when it comes to the rights of working population of Scotland, proving that by supporting the living wage. The zero-hour contract is supported by unscrupulous rich employers who wish to undermine workers' rights. Along with the contract comes no overtime payments, no holidays, and certainly no flexible working. I do, however, understand that it can work for a minority. The biggest question of devolution was placed before the electorate of Scotland prior to independence vote, but was not on the ballot paper. It was laid at the front of many households who were undecided by a yes or no, and were swayed by a vow from Conservative, Labour and Liberal Democrat leaders of the day, and Gordon Brown has to be included in that sham. He now jumped ship, and it is more than pity his jump is not right now. In the papers today, he is the secret plan for Labour in the next general election. The thing that made me most distraught about these parties was that they lied to pensioners, including veterans, telling them that there were no pensions if they voted yes to independence. It swayed many vulnerable voters to vote no. The next general election in May is the biggest, I would say, since the Second World War. My chosen party has changed and has gone down the road with what most of their voters want. Question your party. Are they going to change? No, because they are geared to that enthralling seat of Westminster, the powerhouse of the United Kingdom, the empire of the world. And lastly, the main aim, to get the seat in the House of Lords at its endgame. It is little wonder that a vote to get rid of it, the House of Lords, has been unsuccessful. I have found the SNP a joy to speak to. They have engaged at all levels. They have made us listen. They have listened to us. They have walked the streets and they have knocked on doors. Most of all, they want us, as much as we want them. The Scottish National Party and their partners will fight for everything that was promised by the Big Three on devolution. And equally, the Scottish people are demanding that too. Come to our meetings. You will be surprised by our unassuming and caring ways. Most of all, you will be surprised by how many friends you will make who are like-minded. The oil industry I will not shrink away from. The job cuts were the industry's first port of call. Note they never made their cuts at the top, just like the banks. What a great excuse they had to carry out these job cuts, if they ever needed one. Employers have the upper hand nowadays, and they have the upper hand to do what they want. Can I make a suggestion to any listening MP at Westminster? How about a fluctuating tax regime for fluctuating oil prices? Is that too difficult to ask? And is it too difficult, like spending the revenue from oil? To fellow veterans, I say this. I have watched the services since I joined in 1971 shrink considerably, have its regimental pride reduced, allowances reduced, redundancies made at levels through the years, pensions lost, and many things still happening now. If you are unconvinced by this veterans group, just keep coming to our meetings. Keep listening. There's no other group like this. Our fingers are on the politicians' pulses across all parties, and we are watching them. Finally, veterans, you can put your tick in what box you wanted. We all fought for it, no doubt about it, but this veteran has been in this box for a very long time, since I was a youngster. I do not speak for all veterans, but I do speak for many along the way. The very good thing is that the service people of this country are still the best around the world, without any doubt. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Kenneth. Kenneth, it's an honour. Please take my hand and give our thanks to the veterans of Scotland. Veterans for independence.